Hey friend, welcome to Self-Transformed, a podcast dedicated to transforming your health in less time and guilt-free through the power of habit hacking. I'm your host, Emily Nichols, behavior change specialist, fitness and Whole30 coach, and Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Hey, I know the struggle is real when it comes to taking care of you. I too am a working mom who felt physically and emotionally drained, but lacked the time and confidence to actually make myself a priority. Creating habit strategies around my health was the key to help me finally create a consistent, healthy lifestyle that doesn't feel hard. I'm now on a mission to equip you with those same sustainable habit hacks to help transform your life from the inside out, guilt-free. Together, we will simplify your health into daily habits that don't feel like another thing on your long to-do list, but rather consistent actions that add up to a massive transformation that will stick through all seasons of your life. So if you're ready to habit hack your health and create your own self-transformation, then let's do this. You're listening to episode 172 of Self-Transformed. Hey friend, welcome back to the show. I am so glad you're here. Welcome back. Actually, if this is your first time joining us, hello. Let me introduce myself. My name is Emily. I'm the host of this show. I'm a habit coach, a boy mom, a Orange Theory coach, a fitness professional, Taco Tuesday enthusiast. Above all else, I'm here to help you, my friend. I know you know what you need to do to take care of yourself, right? You know you have gotten so much advice. You kind of have an idea of how to work out, eat healthy, talk nicer to yourself, but you're not actually doing it. So I help you bridge that gap between actually learning the healthy habits to do and actually doing them. That's where habit strategy comes into place. I'm a behavior change specialist in addition to being a fitness professional, and I help you actually logistically use habit strategy to make these healthy habits work in your life for the long haul, not just for like 30 days or like a 2-week plan, but like for life. So I have a whole system we go through together to help you build a sustainable health plan that sticks through all seasons of your life, really building sustainability to help you feel your best from the inside out. And y'all, it's a win-win for everybody because your family gets the very best of you. Now, I do have some exciting things coming up at the beginning of November and December. I am working super hard right now. I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone in a few ways, which has been like stressful some days, exciting, getting tasks done, feel really good and help me feel confident. But I'm working really hard, and I want you to be the first to know when these things are coming your way. So I'll actually make an announcement on this Thursday, on our Habit Hack Thursday episode on the 13th about what's coming up at the beginning of November. However, in the meantime, if you want to be the first to know, text me your favorite emoji to 773-904-2157. I actually send a weekly Motivational Monday text, but I also, my girls there and the girls in my membership and the Habit Hacking Society, they're always the first to know when something new and exciting is coming. This is based off a lot of feedback I have gotten from a lot of the free habit hacking calls I've been doing, which P.S. I have like one left for October. If you want to schedule in November, I have limited availability right now. You can go to bit.ly/free call with Emily. This is all linked in the show notes for you, my friend. And let me know if you want to hop on a free 15-minute habit hacking call with you. It's just to jam out on one habit that you are trying to consistently make happen. And we just pretty much talk about it and strategize and give you some action and wins to take it with you. So many cool things coming. Fall break is coming, and I'm working really hard ahead of time. That way I'm really present with my family when we're in Florida later this month. But in the meantime, come join us in the text group, all the places, Instagram, you know all the places. Just come. There's lots of fun things happening. I don't want you to miss out. And of course, I'll be announcing it here on the show too. Friend, making friends as an adult can be really hard. Right? It can be really challenging. number one, it feels like awkward and like dating. And a lot of times, your kids are friends with other kids, and you're like, oh, I hope their mom is cool and like we get along. And sometimes it's like, wah, wah. Or sometimes it's like, wow, I really would like to be their friend, but oh, I don't have time. Or, I don't know if they're interested in the same things as me. And, I talk about this in today's episode. When I began my own transformation, it really started with food, then it went into movement and then mindset. And one of the aspects of mindset that we talk about in a lot of our programming is friendship and community. We actually really crave it as women. We want to be part of a female group around other women just doing life together. I have my own circle with my own little family, with my boys and my husband and the dogs, of course, but we need that connection and community with folks outside of that little circle. When I began my transformation, I actually was very intentional and joined actually a running group here in my town to meet other like-minded women like me to make new friends. And I've talked about this plenty of times. I don't even like running that much. Maybe one day I'll get back into it. At least maybe not long distance running. But one of the things we talk about in Self Transform You and the society is just your fundamental needs. It's an area of life we're really neglecting as busy working moms. And community is one of those fundamental needs. It's a high form of self-care. So when I was thinking about today's show, I decided to bring on Rachel Kerr. She is the founder of the Beauty Boost. And there's one here in Indy where I live. There's, Beauty Boost. There's like 17 cities that host this organization, and pretty much it is a way to meet other women. I recently became an ambassador for the Beauty Boost, and I'm so excited to help build community around women who are just wanting to realize their potential and take care of themselves, but do it in a fun way that builds up other women. So I'm sure there's other organizations like this in your community, or check the Beauty Boost website to see if there is one near you. But today we're going to dig in deeper with the founder of the Beauty Boost to talk more about how to find like-minded friends and make friends as an adult. So let me tell you a little bit about Rachel and the Beauty Boost. So this is Rachel in her own words. She started the Beauty Boost in 2015 after realizing I wanted to work for myself and saw such a need to help women feel empowered, healthy, and beautiful. She worked with a life coach, got her yoga certification, and she worked full-time while launching the Beauty Boost until year 2, when she left the corporate world and went all in. Amen, girl. I love that feeling for you. And I love this. She aimed to create a space where women with shared values could come together to motivate one another, inspire each other, and create an overall happier lifestyle. Like I said, the Beauty Boost exists in 17 cities and it's growing. It's here locally in my own town of Indianapolis. I recently became ambassador for our indie group here, and I feel like this is a really great opportunity to dig into how to make friends as an adult and really thinking outside of the box and getting creative in ways you can put yourself out there to meet other like-minded women that you can live and do life with. So make sure you stay to the end of this episode. At the end of our conversation with Rachel, I will be sharing my 3 biggest takeaways for you. Okay? So let's get into this conversation with Rachel from the Beauty Boost. All right, gang. Thank you so much again for tuning in to Self Transformed. I'm super excited to have this conversation today all around health, wellness, and community with Rachel Kerr of the Beauty Boost. Rachel, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Me too. I'm so excited to have you here. So, Rachel, the first question I ask every single guest when they come on the show is, what comes to mind when you hear the phrase self-transformed?
I think just changing for the positive, whatever that means for you. Gosh, that's a hard one. Self-transformed, changing, like the better version of yourself, making yourself the best you can be internally, which doesn't mean doing it all on your own, but for you essentially, which inevitably makes you better for other people.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. It is kind of a hard question sometimes, and everyone always has a different response. You kind of almost have to think internally, like, oh, well, what does that mean to me? But I love how you mentioned, sometimes getting help from others sometimes too, because sometimes we just think we have to do it all, and we don't have to.
For sure.
Awesome. Well, can you share a little bit about your own transformation story with us? Kind of think about your own journey, like what has led you to really who you are today and what you do.
Yeah. Well, I think, my job, I run the Beauty Boost, which we can dive into whenever you're ready. But that in itself, some people have their jobs, they leave their job, and then it's very separated from me. The Beauty Boost like is within me. So just starting that up, I think I started in 2015 in my mid to late 20s, and that entire journey and process and just what I'm exposed to on a daily basis in terms of the amazing women we get to work with and coaches. We just left a weekend retreat has really changed me for the better.
Hmm, I love that so much. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Beauty Boost. Can you tell us a little bit more about the mission? And I just love the values you have listed on the website because it's totally like our vibe here at Self Transformed. You have fun, realness, positivity, empowerment, and friends. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Can you tell us a little bit
Thanks.
more about the mission behind what y'all do?
Yeah. So the Beauty Boost is a company I started in 2015 in Columbus, Ohio. And our mission as a whole is to help women feel empowered, feel healthy, feel beautiful. And we do that publicly by putting on different events and experiences. So no matter where you live, if there's a Beauty Boost in your city, what you would expect to see in a year are retreats, like a weekend retreat, a day retreat, etc., fitness events, empowerment workshops, and just social events. And really, anybody can grab a ticket, or you can opt in and make it more of a lifestyle with membership. But I started it by working with a life coach when I was working a ton of corporate jobs that I just really never felt satisfied or fulfilled in. Nothing was really wrong. And I felt guilty because I wasn't satisfied or fulfilled.
Mm.
But I wasn't like excited or thriving through my days. So I worked with a life coach when I didn't even really know what that term was back in the day. And this was before work from home was so accepted, or even freelancing. I hadn't really heard that term. So it was very traditional, going into an office, regular working life. And it just wasn't for me. So I started it, had no idea where it would be today, but today we're in about 20 cities. We're there in Indy for anyone listening that's there. And we have a different gal that runs it in each city, and it's just crazy to see like what it's become and very exciting. I just feel like my life is always changing. I used to be like on a yearly basis, then monthly. Now it feels like down to the day. Something new is always changing. So that's our mission. And we really, really partner locally with the community, whether it's with breweries or co-working spaces or whatever the venues are, with different women to spotlight them as speakers on a panel or fitness instructors, or just depends what the nature of the event is. And then we largely work with local businesses, everything from like spa, holistic health, local boutiques, just really fun stations that will set up at our events, or we'll promote them through emails and things like that that we think our women would really love.
Yeah. I love how diverse that is. And what I love the most, Rachel, is I feel like women especially really crave community and like finding their own little group of people. But I feel like sometimes it's often like really hard to make friends with similar interests because you don't have the time or you feel guilty for taking
Yep.
the time and you're just all over the place. So how do you feel that like the Beauty Boost really helps bridge this gap?
I would say that's the literal main thing we do. Like, yeah, you're coming to events or you're, getting these experiences. But number one thing women say is they want to meet like-minded women. So we, the women that are part of the Beauty Boost, regardless of age or location, we always attract the same type of women. I would say that are don't necessarily want to settle for mediocre day to day. They're into self-development, they're into health and wellness, but not necessarily like extremists. So they still like to go to happy hour and, take things with balance. they are not hoity-toity. They're kind, they give back, and they're always looking to see who's in the community and make friends. And I think when I started Beauty Boost, it kind of filled a need I had because it was a couple of years after college. I had my same best friend since I was probably 5 years old, but none of us live in the same state even. So it felt, and then a lot of my college friends had moved away. So it felt very isolating and kind of, to your point, just hard to make friends as an adult. There was women I could like maybe go grab a coffee with here or there, but it was kind of lonely and isolating on the weekends, I would say.
Yeah.
So I met literally everybody in my life now, pretty much through the Beauty Boost. I was in a wedding a couple weekends ago, and every single one of the bridesmaids had met through the Beauty Boost. We have
Oh, I
so
love
many cool stories. The weekend retreat we just had, I know you have a lot of moms, so we definitely, just based on the age range, have tons of moms. And that's another thing I feel like, when you go through different ebbs and flows of life or different transitions, that can be, I'm not a mom yet, but I would imagine that can be very isolating and hard. So we definitely have a lot of moms that will relate in that way. And on the weekend retreat, a lot of them were talking about this exact topic and how they definitely plan to stay in touch with each other. And, it's kind of like if you come to one event, you might have a good time, but it's not maybe going to be, it could be, but it's probably not going to be like completely life changing. So that's why we aren't a membership based company, but I really love the idea of membership to make it a lifestyle, because the more you keep coming to things and continue to like get the emails and get these little nuggets of positivity and meet other coaches and things like that, it will transform your life.
Absolutely. I love that so much. Kind of when I began my own like health transformation, one of the things I wanted to kind of transform was my connection with other women, because same, I felt really isolated. I was too busy for friends. I just had my little circle of like my family, and I'm like, they're great, but I need that female connection too. So I joined a local running group here in my town. And Rachel, I don't even like running. Like I just was
Yeah.
like, they probably like some of the same things that like I do. And I found some of my best friends there and kind of doing life with each other. I'm sure you found on your retreat, a lot of those moms, it felt really hard to get out of town, but once they were there, like, oh, this feels so great. And to know that other women feel the same way, right? And I love how you mentioned, the community, obviously they're into like health and wellness and self-development, but they still like happy hour or a glass of wine, which I think is so refreshing. And I feel like some women are really intimidated when they see like health or wellness, because they think that they have to go like all in. They have to just go like all in. Kind of like, what is your take on that in regards to health and wellness? Because I feel like some folks, just from what we see on social media, you have to be one extreme or the other. But I feel like there's a middle ground that a lot of
Yeah, for sure. I think, and we have fitness events. One of our most famous events is called the Fitness Sampler, where it's like a room. It's a morning, like a Saturday or Sunday, for a few hours, and one room has back-to-back workouts, like every 25 minutes, something new, no equipment, but you can just pop in as many or as little. And the other room has about 30 health and wellness, fun experience stations. You might get complimentary manicures, a braid bar, just fun stuff. But I do think that sometimes women feel like they have to be a certain size, or like they can't go work out till they're in shape or have the matching Lululemon set on. And we definitely try to be very real, and not post picture perfect things on Instagram and all that purposely to make all women feel comfortable. And it's really great, that event specifically, because some women just will watch, they won't even do the workouts, and that's fine. It's very laid back, or it's just an inviting atmosphere. I've seen women like on their yoga mats encouraging and helping each other at those events. And so I would say that kind of translates into our overall vibe as well for Beauty Boost. I think we just had the weekend retreat and everything is optional. We have optional daily workouts. It's not a yoga retreat, but we do have a yoga class, but we have HIIT class, hiking, whatever. Some women will come and they will literally sleep in through all the workouts, and that's fine. You don't need to make an excuse. And then some women will do every single thing. So our take is just kind of, we're here for you to dabble in as much or as little, meet it at where you're at. I personally, in my own life, go through phases. Like I am in a very busy time. I'm moving condos. I had a lot of events. I just kind of say like my life is my workout. I am not even trying to prioritize working out, even though it does make me feel good and I love it. I'm just so active during my days right now, walking and moving. Whereas in my past, I think I would have mentally maybe beat myself up a little. So I kind of just personally, my take is just meet, where you're at and what makes you feel good. And it doesn't have to fit a certain mold.
Yeah. And you're so right. We always go through different seasons of life, like where we are with work, or even like kids going back to school, or summer is here, or holidays are coming up. I feel like we always have these ebbs and flows in our life, and being able to kind of turn inward and be like, okay, what do I really need right now to feel my best? And that's really inspiring to see other women encouraging each other, what regardless if they're like, hey, I want to work out, or like, hey, I'm just gonna hang out and watch, or go get a mimosa or something like that.
Exactly.
Or both. I like that too. Do you feel like live events are finally making a comeback?
It's so funny when people ask me this, and I always hesitate how to answer this. It's
Yeah.
going to sound bad at first, but I feel like we never really slowed down or stopped. We had our biggest growth during COVID.
Nice.
I was very nervous at first because literally what we try to do is cram as many women into a room as possible. And then obviously COVID happened. But regardless of what everybody believes in, I believe in God. I have a good faith base, I would say. You could say spiritual. And I just felt oddly calm. Like I just felt like it's going to work out. And because of who we attract, like with the local businesses, nobody asked me for refunds. We still honored everything, that we were promised, but we just kind of pushed things out or moved things to digital, started virtual events, even though that's not our bread and butter. People come for that in-person connection. It still gave women something that they needed, or continues. We still continue to do virtual events as well, in addition. But during COVID, obviously, like we followed guidelines of venues of each city, of whatever the laws were. And so I feel like we, in doing so, still were able to have events at a certain point once, certain months had passed, for women that felt comfortable with, social distancing, masks, etc. We limited capacity. And then we still had the virtuals for everybody that didn't feel comfortable, but still kind of wanted and needed this kind of pieces in their life. So I don't have this like crazy viewpoint where it went from nothing to everything.
Mhm.
So I do think like, yes, women are no longer asking questions that they were asking me before with COVID and things. So they are starting to feel much more comfortable. We still have women that wear masks to our events. And that's literally fine. Nobody really cares. I want everybody to do what they're comfortable with.
Yeah. I love that so much. The reason I ask is because I want any woman listening today to feel inspired to go to a live event. I feel like, just from what I see in the health and wellness industry, I feel like they're craving in-person stuff now, like
Mm-hmm.
more than ever, because everything was so virtual for the past couple of years. And
Yeah.
that was a
I don't
great
love
like plan
virtual.
B, but
Yeah.
like, if like it's not the same, it's just not the
I
same.
have a therapy appointment at 3 o'clock today, and he offers virtual, but I always go in person. I just think the energy is different, and I don't
Totally.
know. It's just different.
Yeah, the energy is totally different. You're exactly right. So now, a woman listening today, like I said, I'm here in Indy. We have a beauty boost here in Indianapolis, which is really great. I actually just signed on to become an ambassador here
Oh,
for our
cool.
Indy beauty boost, which is super exciting. But where can everyone find you and learn more about what events are coming up, and if
Yeah.
there's a city near them?
Yeah, the best thing to do is go on the website, thebeautyboost.net. And it will show you a drop down of all the cities we're in. It'll show you the virtual events. The best thing to do, number one, is sign up for your email on there. We just send a once a week on Mondays, like a fun inspirational tidbit, and then it shows the upcoming events. But if email is not for you, the next best thing I would say is Instagram. We have a different Instagram account for each city to make it more personal.
Mhm.
So definitely go on there. And if we're not in a city that you live in and you're like, this would be so amazing, why isn't it here? I want to do this. That's really how we've grown. It's been very organic, where each woman in their respective city runs and owns the beauty boost, but we all work together as a team. Like the city owners are going on an internal team retreat to Florida here in a couple of weeks.
Ooh,
And we all
fun.
talk. Sometimes every day I talk to some of them through text, voice memos. But yeah, so I would love to keep expanding the Beauty Boost to other cities because I just saw how impactful it was here in Columbus. And I want that option for women in their cities. And it allowed me as the owner the freedom to, live a day that was more intentional for me. And I think that's great if somebody wants that and wants to be the owner in their city. So
I love that so much. We'll make sure to include some links in the show notes so they can find if there's a city near them or find out if they are interested in starting up a beauty boost in their city. Rachel, thank you so much for this conversation. I feel like everyone's going to be inspired. Hopefully, get out and get to a live event and find that connection and community with other women. So important.
yes, thank you for having me.
Rachel, thank you so much for this conversation. Friends, I hope you feel lit up and ready to take action to create habits around putting yourself out there to meet other like-minded women like yourself and make new friends. We are all here to build each other up, and it's really fun to meet people in real life. So let's talk about my 3 biggest takeaways with this conversation we had with Rachel from the Beauty Boost. So number 1, meeting like-minded women. Step outside your comfort zone. So, we have to step outside our comfort zone. Like going to an event like with Beauty Boost or any other organization in your town can sometimes be intimidating. If you have a friend or like your sister that can go with you, that definitely is a little less intimidating and a lot less like awkward. Like, oh, hi, I'm Emily. Nice to meet you. Will you be my friend? Right? But if you're putting yourself in situations and places where maybe you are like, gosh, I really like knitting. And so you go join a knitting group. Wow, you'll probably meet other women that really like knitting, or people at a dog park, other people that like dogs. You're stepping outside your comfort zone and actually making an effort to physically go, but then striking up a conversation with folks, finding something that you have in common. You love their bag or something. You're like, oh my gosh, I love your bag, or your dog is so cute, or whatever, just to build up that conversation and that rapport and see how it feels. I see this happen all the time in my Orange Theory classes, where I see women coming to classes at the same time together. They don't know each other. I see them coming over and over and over. And next thing I know, they are huddled up in a little group becoming friends because they have stepped out of their comfort zone to talk to each other. They've put themselves in a place where, okay, these are probably like-minded people. They're going through something the same as me. They obviously like taking care of themselves and working out. And now they have a great group of friends. Does that happen overnight? No, it does take a little time. But if you step outside your comfort zone, make those conversations happen, and putting yourself in a situation where like, hey, these people are probably a little like me, it's going to be easier to make those friends as an adult. Number 2, you're going to have new friends through different seasons of your life. I feel like you have those constant friends in your life, but also I think you have friends in your life for different seasons, for different times of your life for a reason. It might be a time where, where I was building my business and I had a great group of girls like just really pumping me up, giving me feedback. But also thinking back to when my kids were little and I was a brand new mom and trying to make friends, a lot of it was like online because I wasn't going anywhere, because going anywhere with the kids was like crazy when they were super duper little. But there was a different group of friends that I was relying on to be like, oh my gosh, like I'm so exhausted. Like my nipples are raw. There's milk everywhere. Oh my gosh, all the diapers, right? So you thinking back to different seasons of your life, you've had different friends for different seasons of your life. And sometimes, maybe one of your really good girlfriends is at a different season of their life and you guys aren't really like in the same season right now. That's okay. And being okay with finding friends that are in maybe a similar season as you, and being okay as those friendships transition over time. And then lastly, don't judge or feel intimidated by a group. Like feeling like you have to go all in. Kind of like what Rachel was mentioning. I love the Beauty Boost because these women are interested in taking care of themselves, but they're not like so all in where it's like, I am, they're not going to drink a mimosa unless they really want one, or they're not judging you. So please don't judge them, right? Sometimes we feel like, oh my gosh, like someone's doing this, they must have it all together. They must just be totally into it. And here I am, I'm just trying to get into ABC, insert whatever that is. And sometimes we judge too quickly, or we feel intimidated, and then we don't take action at all. We could be missing out on some really great relationships and friendships just because we're afraid of our own insecurities or we're prejudging before we actually put ourselves out there. So don't feel like you have to go all in on whatever this group is of like-minded women you're trying to insert yourself into. Go in with an open mind and know that, they're not probably going all in either, if you know what I mean. So, y'all, we are craving connection in real life. I would suggest you going to the Beauty Boost website. I have it linked in the show notes. See if they are in one of the cities nearby to you. Put yourself out there to find some other like-minded women. If you're listening to this show, the Beauty Boost might be a great fit for you to help you find some adult friendships of other women inspiring and motivating each other, maybe with a side of a mimosa or margarita. If you know me, you know how I love my margs. So, Rachel, thank you so much again for this conversation. It's a great reminder that connection in real life is a fundamental need and something we crave, and it's a habit we have to build up over time. And the more we do it, the more it's going to feel less uncomfortable, and the more we're going to see the fruits of our labor through these beautiful friendships that we can grow with other people and do life with each other. Nothing like your girlfriends, right? I actually had to silence my text group while recording this episode, which I love them so much. I love them so much, and they are here for this season of my life, and I'm so grateful for them. So, and I'm grateful for you for listening. If you love today's show, I would love it if you would leave a rating and review on iTunes. It makes it a little easier for more mamas to find our show, and make sure you're staying connected and aware of all the big things coming to Self-Transformed over the next month. I'll make a big announcement for you all on the 13th for Habit Hack Thursday. So sending you all a big virtual hug. Friend, you are truly, truly the best. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch up with you later this week. Hey girl, real quick before you go, if you want some free motivation texted to you every week from me to help you habit hack your health, send me your favorite emoji to 773-904-2157 and sign up for my weekly pump up text. I can't wait to catch up with you there. Hey, and if you love the podcast, the number one way you can thank me is to leave a rating and review in iTunes. That way more mamas can also find the show. Then you can even email me a screenshot of your review, and I'll send you either a Starbucks gift card or give you a free habit hacking call with me live on the podcast. Love and appreciate you, friend. I'll see you next time.